Most people think they overthink because they're anxious. They're wrong. You overthink because something feels fundamentally broken. And the strange part is, your brain waits until midnight, when the noise of the world finally dies down, to show you the truth. During the day, you're busy, distracted, numb. But the moment the lights go out, the silence becomes heavy. Your mind starts asking the questions you've been running from all day. These thoughts aren't random, and by the end of this video, you'll realize that what's keeping you awake isn't actually about you. It's about how easily a good person can become a monster. Think about your day. You're on autopilot, scrolling through feeds, answering emails, laughing at jokes you don't even find funny. You're too busy to feel anything deeply. But nighttime is honest. The distractions are gone, and your brain starts replaying the moments you tried to ignore. You remember that person being humiliated at work while you stood there, silent. You remember that small, cruel comment you made just to fit in. These minor moments of indifference start to feel heavy because you realize you weren't being good, you were just being safe. And that's where the real overthinking begins. If these kinds of questions keep you up at night, you're not alone. We dive into the parts of human nature that most people are too afraid to look at. If you're ready for the truth, hit subscribe. Let's keep going. The thoughts that haunt us at midnight aren't just about our own lives. They're about how normal life, the world we see every day, can quietly turn into something unrecognizable. Some of the worst tragedies in history didn't start with monsters. They started with people, just like you. People who were simply following the flow.
When we hear about the darkest chapters of history, the violence, the corruption, the systematic cruelty, our brains instinctively look for a way out. We look for a gap. We say, they are monsters. They are mentally ill. They are nothing like us. It's a comforting lie. Because if cruel people are a different species, then we are safe. We get to believe that could never be me. But history tells a much darker, much more ordinary story. The people behind the worst tragedies in human history often didn't look insane. They looked like your neighbors. They had 9-to-5 jobs. They had families they loved. They laughed at jokes, complained about the weather, and worried about their bills. They didn't have horns. They had daily routines, and that is exactly what makes them so terrifying. Because monsters are easy to reject. We can put them in a box and lock it away. But normal people force us to look in the mirror and ask the one question we've spent our whole lives avoiding. If they were ordinary human beings, and they were capable of doing that, then what is the actual difference between them and you? Is it our character, our morality, or is it just that we haven't been placed in the right system yet? The answer isn't as comfortable as you think.
After World War II, the world was hungry for justice. Many expected to see monsters on trial, angry, foaming-at-the-mouth villains who thrived on hatred. But instead, when the cameras turned on, they saw a man who looked like a quiet accountant. He was polite. He was calm. He was responsible for organizing the transport of millions to their deaths. And yet there was no fire in his eyes, no madness. Just a terrifyingly normal human being. When asked why he did it, he didn't scream or defend his ideology. He simply said, "I was just following orders." At that moment, a dangerous myth was shattered. We realized that the greatest evils in history aren't always committed by psychopaths or people filled with rage. Most of the time, They are committed by people who simply stopped thinking. They stopped questioning. They stopped reflecting. They turned themselves into a small gear in a massive machine. This is what philosophers call the banality of evil. It's the idea that cruelty can become a desk job, a routine. You fill out the forms, you follow the protocol, and you go home to eat dinner with your family. You tell yourself, it's not my responsibility. I'm just doing my part. And slowly, piece by piece, your empathy shuts down. Not because you're evil, but because you've become numb to the consequences of your actions. And this numbness, it's contagious. It's what happens when a society decides that obedience is more important than conscience. It's the moment when being a good citizen actually means losing your humanity.
And this is why you overthink at night. Because when the world goes quiet and the distractions of the day are gone, your brain finally asks the one question you've been running from. Am I actually thinking for myself? Or am I just following along because it's easier? The most terrifying thing in our history isn't the existence of evil people. It's how easily good, normal people can stop paying attention. It's how quietly we can trade our conscience for comfort. And once you notice that, once you realize that the seed of that indifference is inside you too, sleep doesn't come so easily. If this made you stop and think, comment below. What's the one thought that keeps you awake? And if you enjoy content that challenges the way you see the world, subscribe and follow for more. Because the most disturbing truths aren't in the history books. They're already inside your head.